Hi, my name is Cynthia Gramberg and my company is called Proprietor Solutions. Today I am interviewing Walt Morey from Core Business Solutions. Hi Walt, thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure.
Well, I have some really awesome questions to ask Walt today. He's taken the Lumina Spark, and so I want to follow up with him and find out his thoughts. One of the things I wanted to talk to him about was he's taken several different kinds of assessments. So tell me, how do you compare the Lumina Spark to some of the other assessments you've taken in the past?
Well, I'll talk about the other assessments first. Looking back at them, I found them, compared to the Spark, I found them to be very really zeroed in on pigeonholing people as to a certain type, an A, a B, a C, whatever they are, and that was it. So this is what you are, and that's all it's all about. And you have this strength and this negative, and you need to improve here, and you're fine here. This type of thing. The difference with the Spark is it looks at everybody as an individual, not grouping you with other people like you, because we're all different, even though we may be some kind of character or an A, whatever you want to call it, but there's more to us than that. And I think the Lumina Spark really accentuates what we all are, not just what we aren't. And I think that's a big plus.
Initially, when you took the Spark, what aha moment did you have after you took it?
Oh, it was, and you were there because you went over with me. But when she coached me through the Spark, and I understood what it said, to uncover the fact that I had a strength of being much more collaborative with people, and I really didn't understand that, so I thought about it more and how I relate with my clients. That I didn't think I would have that strength. That would be something I could use to be more collaborative. Never thought of it. My idea was, okay, give my clients the strategic plan, work them through it so they understand it, then say, okay, now go do this. Have a nice day, and leave it at that. Whereas now, being more collaborative, I'm more likely, more interested in knowing that I have the ability, and more importantly, the confidence to lead them through the process, so I'm being more collaborative with them, and that helps me in a lot of different ways, but it helps my client too, because now I'm just not letting on their own. Yes, they have to be held accountable, that doesn't change, but the point is that I'm going to roll up my sleeves and be working with them and collaborate with them to help them complete their plan.
How have you used the Spark assessment this past year? It's been a year since you actually took it, and how has it helped you?
Well, here again, it's helped me in two ways. The number one is giving me more confidence about knowing who I was. Self-awareness is critical, and that's one of the things that the Spark is all about, is making you self-aware of what you're all about. Things that you emphasize and don't emphasize in your character. And once you have a better understanding of those things, then like in my case, I uncovered a strength that I didn't know I had. By implementing that strength, I've noticed that my clients are more productive, they're happy in what they're doing, and at the same time, I'm more confident in what I'm doing, but I'm more pleased with the results that my clients are getting, because they're pleased. So it's a great opportunity to become self-aware, and in many cases, have a better understanding of how you relate to others and how others may or may not relate to you. That's huge.
One conversation we had, we were talking about your clients after you'd had this aha moment and so on, about your collaboration and stuff. What was one of their responses to you?
Well, several of them had said, and one specifically said, geez, Walt, you're much more, working with me through these issues, whatever they may be, whether it be within a plan or something else we were doing, some other project, but they noticed that I'm spending more time with them and working with them day to day with the project, whatever it may be. So I'm being more clever. They noticed it, and they liked it even better, because they felt they were getting more out of what I was giving them, more instruction, more consultation. In my business coaching especially, I spent more time with them on even some of the little things from day to day, but they felt like they were getting much more value from what I was bringing to the table.
Exactly, that's exactly what it does. I used to have a hair salon, and I wish I would have had the Lumina Spark at that point in time, because it would have helped me so much with my engagement with my customers, because I'd be able to speed read them, but also the fact that working with my employees, it would have been so much easier also, because we would have understood each other a lot better.
And the other thing too is when you understand yourself, then you see some of yourself in other people, and you know how to relate with them.
Exactly.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Because you say, well, this person's this kind of, oh, I'm not too. Okay, you recognize that because you better know yourself. You recognize those traits in other people very quickly.
Exactly. And if you're using your Spark and you're studying it, you that's how you basically train yourself to learn those skills.
Exactly.
Walt used to be in the corporate world, so I'd like him to talk to me a little bit about what happened with management and working with his teams. If he would have had the Lumina Spark at that time, would it have had improved communication? Would it have improved employee engagement within your company at that point in time? I know Spark wasn't available during that time, so if you had it, what do you think would have happened and helped you?
Yeah, I mean, again, self-awareness is the key thing, but what self-awareness creates or provides an opportunity where now the employees, they're better aware of what they're doing, but when they take the class together, I could see where they learn more about each other and how others see them and how they interrelate with others, because they know all their strengths and so forth. And if I had that in large companies I work for, like MetLife and Raytheon and MCI, and if I'd had this Smart Lumina Spark type program back then, it would have been able to create more self-awareness within the organization. Not only I would have started with the managers, make sure we're all on the same page and being aware of each of our strengths and weaknesses and whatever, but taking that together and creating that with the managers that I worked with, but then opening that to organization certainly would have improved engagement, because self-awareness does that. As an employee, you become more self-aware of who you are, what you do, and how you relate to people, how people relate to you, in what aspects, in whatever aspects there are. And then you realize these strengths that you have. You know the ones you think you know. You find these others perhaps, and now you want to test those out. You want to use that with your people you work with from day to day. That's only going to increase engagement. Imagine that same type of give and go with management. That could potentially increase productivity, and increased productivity is a happier employee, and more importantly, it's return on investment, so your bottom line increases as well.
And there's statistics to prove that too.
I'm sure there are.
Well, my last question for you is, if there's someone who's sitting on the fence of trying to decide whether they want to take the Spark assessment for themselves or to provide a workshop for their company, what would you say to them?
First thing I tell you is take the Spark yourself. Don't poo-poo it, just take the Spark yourself. See what it will do for you. And then once you realize what the potential is for you, imagine that spread out over your entire organization, whether it be just the management group or the entire group, whatever your industry is. It really doesn't matter. Employees are employees. But you increase engagement within your organization, and the Spark's going to do that for you. It's a win-win. But at the same time, the place you want to start is take the test yourself, take the evaluation yourself, learn more about yourself, and imagine that over your entire organization, what that could do for you. The results could be amazing.
Thanks, Walt, for sitting with me today and being in my interview here to ask you questions about the Spark. For any of you out there, if you want to learn more about the Lumina Spark, you can contact me at my phone number at 727-657-9422, or you can email me at cynthia@proinnosolutions.com, or if you want to have even more information on the topic we talked about today, you can go to www.proinnosolutions.com.